All right. Good morning, people. Let's see. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. For those of you who do not know, my name is Nicole Miller, author of How to Overcome Heartbreak, Recovering from Misguided Love. My book is available on Amazon. And in my book, I basically talk about a serious relationship I was in, how that relationship ended up in heartbreak, and how God used my pain and turned it into purpose. So if you're overcoming a relationship, you're experiencing heartbreak, that may be helpful for you. You can find out more by visiting the website overcomingheartbreak.net, and you can also email me, Nicole Miller, at overcomingheartbreak.net. Thanks for joining, guys. So this morning, I just wanted to touch base on a few keys to contentment. I know so often we can feel like we're needing something or lacking something in one season. The thing is, if we don't develop those gifts or those graces to be content in the season that we're in, then we can just be discontent in the next season, even when we get what we want. So the first key that I wanted to offer you guys to develop contentment in the season you're in is to be grateful. Practice gratefulness. Focus on what it is you do have. Often we're bombarded with media and the culture, with commercials. Often we're bombarded with the media and the culture, commercials to keep wanting to buy things. Consumerism is at its high in our culture. However, none of those things will fulfill you. So the goal really is to focus on what you do have. I've been in seasons where maybe I didn't have a job, or maybe I didn't have certain resources, but I did have relationships, and I did have community, and I did have different activities. So what you want to do is, if you find yourself in a situation like that, or in a season where you're lacking something, focus on what you do have and try to enjoy those things. The second key that I want to give you guys is to obtain an understanding that nothing temporary will satisfy. And I did kind of just touch on that. We're bombarded in the media with commercials and with consumerism that if you have this, you'll be better. If you have that, you'll be happy. And, you know, anyone who gets all of that stuff will realize that because we're eternal spirit beings, nothing natural or temporary will satisfy us. So once you have that understanding, it's a little bit more helpful to be in seasons where you feel like you're missing something or you're lacking something. The third key I want to give you guys is to practice being present. I know so often we just feel like, well, if I could just get to the next thing, if I can just get that house, or get that husband, or get that baby, or get that job, or get that promotion, then I'll be happy. But as we've just touched on, nothing temporary will satisfy. So let's just take a step back, focus on the now, focus on the present, train our minds to focus on the present, and that will help us to be present. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the relationships you do have, enjoy the activities and the open doors that are in your space at this point in time. The fourth key to contentment that I want to give you guys is to find purpose in your current season. And that was really huge for me. I've been in seasons where it just looked like I was at a standstill. It looked like I was waiting. It looked like there was no purpose. I wasn't getting to where I wanted to go, especially in my career. But there was purpose in that season. So ask yourself, what am I supposed to be learning in this season? Who am I supposed to be connecting with in this season? Good morning, Kareem. Thank you for joining. Who am I supposed to be encouraging in this season? Who am I supposed to be learning from in this season? There is purpose in each season, and once we are in alignment with the true purpose in our season, then we can flow with that season, develop in that season, and learn what we're supposed to learn. As I mentioned before, I've been in seasons where I've been kind of at a standstill in my career, and I remember going through that season with a friend, and this can be another key, basically to connect with someone who's like-minded, who's on the same path, who's about purpose, who's about developing themselves as you are, so that you guys can keep renewing your minds together. So for me, I was in a season where I had a friend of mine, and we would take daily walks together, you know, during our breaks, and that was very helpful for me. I also just had to find enjoyment in the little things, and that was kind of like going back to being content. Maybe you're not getting that big promotion. Maybe you're not being recognized for your gifts and talents in that way, but there are things that are good in that season. One of the things I just wanted to encourage you guys with is that all seasons are temporary. You know, there is nothing new under the sun. There's no season that extends for your lifetime. You know, there is just a season for everything, and we kind of see that in the changing of the seasons in our nature. So often when there isn't movement, one of the things that I've learned is if there isn't movement in one area of my life, then God is usually working on another area of my life. And usually that has to do with internally. So maybe I'm not seeing movement on the outside, and I'm not seeing it in my career. I'm not seeing it in my relationship status, or I'm not seeing it, in this house that I want to get. But what I am seeing is once I'm submitting and yielding and being in alignment with how the Spirit is ordering my steps, then usually the growth is taking place inward. So God is developing my character. He's developing my mindsets. He's developing my outlook. And so I'm changing internally. And you know what's good, what's cool is that a lot of times the outward reflects what's happening inward in me. So that's just kind of like a spiritual pattern I've learned for myself. I don't want to say that, no, I'm not Muslim. I'm actually a Christian. I don't want to say that, that's for everyone, but I do know that because I've been, had revelation of how God moves with me, that's helped me to kind of get through those difficult seasons. So I just want to give you guys, reiterate, keys to contentment. Number 1, gratefulness. Focus on what you do have as opposed to what you don't. Number 2, obtain an understanding that nothing temporary will satisfy you. Number 3, practice being present. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy your relationships now. Enjoy the open doors now. Number 4, find purpose in your current season. And that's a huge one for me. I just find that oftentimes if I'm going through waiting seasons or if I'm going through tests and trials, if I can find purpose, that helps me get through it a lot better. Who are you to be connecting with? Who are you learning from? Who are you supposed to be encouraging? So just remember that all seasons are temporary, and one really good discipline to have while you're doing these things is to train your emotions. I know for me, emotions have been up and down, especially when you're waiting, especially when you're going through hard things. But when you practice these disciplines, your emotions are submitting. They're being submitted to the will of God. They're being submitted to your spirit man, and they're not leading you. And you're practicing self-discipline. You're practicing self-control. And so these characteristics can be taken with you in any season. So even when your season changes, at least you have those disciplines with you that can help you overcome the next thing that's kind of hard to get through. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day. Happy Monday. Again, my name is Nicole Miller, author of How to Overcome Heartbreak, Recovering from Misguided Love. You can find the book available on Amazon. You can go to overcomingheartbreak.net. You can email me, Nicole Miller, at overcomingheartbreak.net. I also, hey, Jazz, hey, good morning. I also blog frequently on betterthanwine.net. So you guys have a good day. Happy Monday. Be blessed, and I'll talk to you next time.